Okay, here we are with lecture 2. Started off with core balance. It's everything on the floor, from the ground up. We talked about hand grip earlier, first video lecture. French and German. We talked about core balance, everything on the ground, and then variations off of that. We talked about time. We talked about each appendage, each foot, each arm, each hand being totally independent. So they can all four, like an octopus, with half an octopus, all four of them can play something completely, totally different. Melodic, it's like 4 different opportunities here that you have for percussion. So you need to really focus on core balance, and from core balance, you're going to learn motor skills that will eventually grow like a plant into, you'll be able to gain more and more and more and more and more control over each foot and each arm and hand from that point. If you start backwards with the leaves and try to get to the roots, what you'll find is you'll just completely, totally only rely on one appendage. It's always going to be the leader, and everything else will follow it. Kind of like you feel stupid and you get up and dance at a wedding, you know what I mean? You just start shaking one leg. Well, that's what I'm talking about. So in order to train your body to play drums, you need to start from the ground up. That's what I was talking about with other drummers who might want to consider a completely different methodology of how to learn to play drums. And in that way, John Henry Bonham was really a technician, because these are tools. In developing technique is where the word technology comes from. Technology, techniques to do things with tools. So that being said, hand grip over and under. What I would suggest you do for content on this, the main video over to your right, if you're looking at this video small, or if you made it big and you're watching it on YouTube, you can minimize it. There's a video of John Henry Bonham playing Moby Dick, doing a solo, right at the beginning of a solo. And you'll see during this solo, him playing that superphonic, playing that snare real in real fluid rhythm. He's got his fingers back here. And he's just biting it up with that right stick. And he'll take his left arm and reach over. And you also see John Henry Bonham, before he goes into a solo, it's kind of like you're on top of a bicycle and you're getting ready to peel out a little bit and then just start pumping into it. You know what I mean? A little rough on a bike. It's kind of like he's getting ready to take off into them drums and play them. And what you'll see him doing is, with his right and left hand, he'll be playing the snare and the upper tom. He'll start off like that, playing them together. You'll notice when he initiates, He's starting from that core balance that I'm trying to convey to you. He's starting with everything on the ground. And then he starts working up from there. Then he'll start going into variations, where everything else comes into play for learning how to be able to control each foot, each hand, each arm, each finger, everything. Your whole body becomes capable of doing what some of you might only be able to do minimally with, like, holding a good steady ride cymbal on time, in rhythm, and then the rest of your body struggling. What I mean to say is you want to bring the rest of your body up to be able to do that. And in order to do that and be able to do it fluidly and vary a composition in percussion, you need to start from the ground up. I mean, I'm really hammering that home. Cool. So, if you're done watching that video or not, what are 32s? I said 32s, didn't I? Remember when we were talking about time? Well, John Henry Bonham, if you really break down the blocks of how he plays and write it down and look at it, I mean, you've got to really listen to the core first. Like Abraham Lincoln said, you got to listen to learn. I know that a huge percentage of you get so excited about just listening to the music when you got on headphones. You're listening to the music. Jimmy's freaking out on the guitar, you know, and John Paul's just off in the field over here on the left, and John Henry just kind of yelling across the both of them, and it just fills all that space. I know you get all excited, and you listen to some of the drums, you listen to like the really cool riffs, right? You listen to all those. But then in between all that, you just start playing stuff, man, because it's so cool. You're playing Led Zeppelin, man. This is awesome. I'm having a great day, man. You're smashing around everything, and you're having fun. Well, that's a blast. It's kind of like jumping in the pool and swimming and having fun. But then, do you really want to become an Olympic swimmer? Do you really want to learn about swimming? So the way John Henry cut up time, if you think about a measure of music, and there's 4 black notes in it, they're spaced evenly in that measure, right? 4 black notes. And then we start thinking about this up-down thing going on. Downbeats and upbeats, right? Well, where's that upbeat fall? I mean, if we were to make a black dog on that in there, where does it fall at? At the beginning and end of the measure. If you break it down, I mean, to its roots, what you're going to have is there's four black notes on the bottom. Okay, dudes and dudettes, we had some technical difficulty, didn't we? Right in the middle, we're counting them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I know this video is a trip, isn't it? Well, so I'm going to do a revise. I said a lot after that, and the camera quit working. So, I had to get another camera and start over. So, what do you do when you're playing your drums and you're in front of a whole bunch of people and talking about balance, right? You're on a bicycle or running down a path. What happens if you eventually trip, fall, and hit the ground and go, because it's going to happen at some point. I mean, if you're really aggressive about it, what are you going to do? Well, if you maintain your balance, you're going to get right back up and keep going. Nobody will even know it. So think about that. But anyway, getting back to 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom and 3 on top. And I'm just going to reprise what I had said previously. If you think about that up and down thing going on there, right? Where you cut up time. And I'm not sure if I got to in the last video, well, if the 4 dots are on the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, evenly measured, and the 3 on top, and you keep playing those 3, right? You're going to fall on this bar with a note. It's not going to be overlooked. It's going to be played. So if you think about 2 different measuring scales, which are cognitive constructs in psychology, it's like a tool that you have inside of your head that you use to measure something, for example. You think about it, you learn about it, you know what it is. So it's in your head. It's not like a ruler that you lay down on the ground. It's in your head. So when you think 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. That's a cognitive construct in your head. You know what you're doing, you're measuring out that time using force. Right? So this is the same thing, but it's a different measuring scale. It's 3s. It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2. Uh-oh. Can you do it? Go ahead and try. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. Right? So what happens if you got 4 on the bottom and 3 on top, and you jump from playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, to 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. And then you're accenting on either 1 maybe, or 3, or 2. What happens is, you're still in rhythm and time with the music, but you're jumping out of the measure and on top of it, sort of. You're playing those ghost notes. You're playing the ones that are on top. So, that being said, and you're thinking about cutting things up into 4s, 3s, which gives you the opportunity for 1s and 2s in different ways. But in any case, if you're thinking about cutting all that measure up, and you take the time to painstakingly listen to John Henry Bonham, I'm not sure if I got this on, this is a reprise as well. There's probably a lot of you out there who just want to go, just start playing your drums when you're listening to Zeppelin, and it's really exciting, and you can't help but just try to figure out the real good riffs, something that he does in one of the songs, but the rest of it in between all that is just pretty much you smashing away on your cymbals and stuff, having a great day, and you feel great because you're playing with with Page and John Paul Jones. Page is over there screaming about media or something, and John Paul Jones is out walking around the field, and John Henry Bonham is yelling out across both of them, and they're all filling up all that space with sound. Well, it's not a machine gun coming at you in time. It's rhythmic. It's a human experience. So it's like it's a performance, and it's almost, it's theatrical almost in a sense, but it's just the true human being being expressed in the artist. And but in order to get at the root at of Bonham's playing, you know, and you're thinking about emotions and what drives the music rhythmically, when you play the blues, maybe you haven't heard this expression that boy's too young to be playing the blues. Well, there's a lot to be said with that in emotion and rhythm and time and how you want to cut it up and play it as like you're some kind of Pythagorean guru with the numbers back there, counting them out and beating time and measure, and but you're also conveying the emotion of the music as well in the rhythm. So it goes up and it goes down, and we have transitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you got 1, 2, 3. You ride the top of the scale with a different way of measuring time. It seems like when John Henry would jump from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3 in rhythm with Page and John, with rhythm, in rhythm with them, and in time with them, but with being the three, a power trio, it's filling up, the notes they're playing is filling up a lot more space. They're not all just playing the same thing right together. They're off in their own different little areas filling up sound, throwing out sound and filling up space, in time, in rhythm and measure. Well, John would play 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, of course, but the way the music moves, whether it's going to go up and down in the transition, if you change to 3 and get on top of the scale, it seems like you're slowing time down because you're playing on top, but that's not the case at all. You have just as many notes, but to play, but they're in a different part of the song. They're on the ghost notes, and it just changes the whole feel of the music through the beat. And so if you're changing from up to down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. That's the way the music's going, in 4. And then you get to 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. You start playing that pattern of music. What it does is it changes the beat within the space of the whole time. And John Paul it might be playing on 4, and Page might be playing on 4, but John Henry's playing those triplets, cutting the time up into 3s. And that was his symbol, 3. Everything he did playing percussion was played in contexts of measures on 3. So when you think about just playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. What it does is you're still moving along at that same pace and rhythm, but it just cuts the time up different and how you're accenting each note. So that's where we want to go with thinking about how John Henry Bonham played on the kit in certain instances. So watch that video and keep practicing the balance, core balance. Because you want to learn from the ground up. Learning the motor skills from the ground up is the best way to learn. If you try to learn from one of the leaves back to the roots, what usually happens is you keep trying to improve that leaf. That's where your mind really wants to go. And the rest of your appendages, your feet and this along here, are going to suffer, or are not going to be able to do anything but follow this. because that's where all your focus is. It's on this. Making sure this is in time. Everything else is following it. When you need to really gain more control of what's going on over here, and do what over here, what you want to do with it. Even though that's playing in 4, you might go and start cutting the time up different like that. And what you'll find is over the measure is these 1, 2, 3s are going to be falling on 2 of these are going to be falling like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Reprise again. I think it's going on now. I think it's running out. Hi, Papa. So I'm going to put graphs up that you're probably looking at on the screen right now. And it's kind of got mapped out what I'm talking about. And as much as how you can divide time up in rhythm, in the concept of how many beats are in a measure. Switching from playing on a count of 4 to playing on a count of 3, which is accented on 1 every time. Over 12 bars, for example. It develops a pattern. And the person who's engaging that feels that, can hear that pattern, and starts following it and listening to it. And while John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page are playing still 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3. John Henry will jump off into a 3 scale. It seems like it slows down almost, but he's just really getting the most out of his sticks and his feet. And that's what's really incredible about watching him play and how he plays and how he's different from other drummers, that he's just got something that you can't figure out about him. And that's that 3 pattern. The triples are the key to it. The triples. So practice the balance, practice the overs. I hope that I said in the other video about him playing with the, if you'll notice in the video on the front page of the site, him crunching away. It's got to go on rhythm, right? Hear it? It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. See that? See that? So watch that stick hammering away and watch him leading over. You'll notice when he starts playing a solo, he starts out at the bass, on the ground. Boom, boom, boom. Watch him. Boom, boom, boom. Right? And he'll switch. Boom, boom, boom. Right? It's like he's getting ready to take off on his bicycle and just start digging into it. Peeling out, sliding, grabbing the little heel there, tearing off there, switching gears there. He takes off on the drums. And he starts from the ground up. So if you really want to learn how John Henry Bonham played, you got to watch him, you got to listen to him, you got to listen close. And then you got to start putting things together and counting it out and figure out how does it fit in a measure. And you'll find that in order to put some of the things that he puts in a measure, the way that, and do it logistically, that there's actually 2 different things going on there. He's playing in 4s, and then he's playing those ghost notes. Things that you don't expect to be played are called ghost notes. And he's turned that into an entire accented scale. So think about it. Listen to John Henry. We'll go back for video 3. I hope the camera's still running.